Right, good afternoon guys. How's everyone doing today? Fences are poorly on YouTube, so I've come to do the Marshall's warehouse open day. My appointment's till 1:15, so I thought, hopefully there should be a waiting area in here. So yeah, I'm allowed to film in here. A few of my followers working here, so I know it'd be probably noisy, but yeah, there you go. Hopefully this scan thing works. Right, talk to you when I walk around. Yeah. I thought get a little bit in here before it starts. Got some balloons, I don't know if you look up there.
Can we go upstairs? Can I go upstairs?
Let's get a little bit over here yet. Oh.
A lot of the stuff's been brought down.
Yeah, I know him. Well, don't really know him. But yeah, sometimes he's with Ozzy Osbourne. Right, yeah. I thought let's get a little bit of this, like I said. So yeah, my appointment's not too hard, 1:15. I thought get a little bit of this before it starts. Trophies. So he's going to definitely be. So is that Jack there? So you can't see him putting. Got some drums up there. Let's have a quick look. There's MK Dons. They lost again, 3-0, Knox County. Right. So wait till now. There's a little clip. Right, talk to you in a minute.
Oh, it's all
sorry.
Oh, right, okay. I'm covering electronics, done a bit of Woodmill, done a bit of finishing. Work upstairs in R&D now, like helping out with technical drawings and that. So I'll show you around. Like, we have a little equipment around there, and we head up into the factory and show you the different areas in there.
So yeah, the tour is starting now.
We've got like a Zach Wild signature head there. That's one of his guitars as well that he gave us and donated to us. I think that was number 4. I think that he called that paper with that. It's a JTM 800, but it's specially done, like designed for him. I think it's got an effects loop on the back of it, different than the others. That's one of his waistcoats there as well. Gave to a Jim Marshall.
Oh well, yeah.
When they're at a mill in Bletchley somewhere. I think there was about 26 that they made. And then eventually the person bought it back and traded it into another amp. So Jim kept it and used to have that on his desk. Normally keep it in the display case up there. 03, which is a JCM 800 modified, and 1951 handwire modified there as well, which won the Best in Show at the NAMM Awards, just gone in January. See up there.
Yeah.
So that used to be how the cabs used to look, so they used to be really heavy to carry around.
Okay.
So the bands used to complain about it, so and the roadies, I suppose, they were so heavy, so they ended up cutting them in half, and that's how they ended up with the stack. So that's how the stack was invented.
Okay. Go along here.
done. So we've done like a music and Milton
Sorry.
Keynes.
Video.
Yeah. You want to be?
It was because Milton Keynes is known for the concrete cows,
Yeah.
but that's why some of these cigars there that used to walk around the factory and smoke. He used to bring out some whiskey every year for the employees and give them away at Christmas. So yeah, he's got all his whiskey collection there.
Oh, good.
A picture of him there. His office used to be in through here.
Yeah.
Pop up these stairs here.
Oh.
We also do, well, we sponsor the local football team, so
Yeah,
Milton
Dogs.
Keynes, yeah. So we've got a name, well, we used to have our names on the shirt. I'm not sure if they're on there now, maybe someone else, but yeah, we still have a lot to do with them, sponsor them. Also got the Metal drums as well, so because Jim was originally a drummer,
All right.
he liked drums, so bought Metal drums about 15 years ago. He used to do these sort of bongo style drums. They eventually started developing their own range of like proper drum kits. So yeah, look, you see a lot of artists using the Cal now. So if you ever keep your eye out on the TV and that, and you'll see that quite a few bands actually using the Cal. If we head through this way,
So here's the apps. There we go, yeah. Shall I take photos at the same
so,
time?
yeah, this is engineering. So this is where all the chassis are made.
Okay.
I'll take you around to Phil in a minute. We'll go through the process.
Yeah.
How they make these and cut them out of the big sheets of steel and aluminium. Around here we've got the only artist that ever made a signature cab was Dave Mustaine.
All right.
They made all this grill and everything as well here in engineering, so he come in for a couple of weeks and helped design it. I think it's got like a solid back on it, so to do with the sound he tried to develop like a different sort of sound out of his cabs. So he had that made. He come in for a couple of weeks and helped design it, and then he come in another couple of weeks and helped build it. So he built this one here, just inside, and he went all the way through the whole process. So he went through the Woodmill, built the cab, covered it, wired it all up and everything. So he helped build that whole tank. A couple of his guitars there as well that he's signed and donated to us over the years. So, like this big metal grill here, as I said, that was like made here in engineering.
Okay.
And I'll take you around here and I'll show you how all these sort of things are made, like
Okay.
all the metal work.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no worries.
Wow.
Bill, it's the big machine over there, the big press machine where they stamp out all of the chassis and all the holes in the chassis.
Yeah.
That's alright, no worries. If you want to come and gather around here, I'll show you
Yeah.
show you how it's all made.
You good?
Good afternoon. Good
Afternoon.
All right.
Yeah, all good.
Right. Welcome to Marshall. Welcome to engineering. I'm Phil. So this is the engineering department. What we do in engineering is we do all metal work. So we make all the metal chassis, grills, brackets, pedals, anything that's made out of metal and can be made in-house to do. So what we do, we mainly use 3 different types of steel. So we either use Intec, which is coated steel, we use mild steel, which is uncoated, and then we use aluminium as well. So that big machine there, which is just sliding out, what that does is it punches and straps out the bolted sheet to the required design for the chassis. So today we're doing these, which are XN chassis. What we do is it's a carousel. It's basically it's a carousel that turns around. It's got put 45 tools in it. Different shapes, sizes, circles, squares, rectangles, shape tools, form tools. Anything that is required for what is going to be on the chassis. We did it once for a 3-gun program till it's finished. We've done 6 of these at a So that will take 6.5 minutes roughly to do these. Once they've all been punched, they will then come out. You then have to shake them out of the waste material. And then what Charlie's doing now is just filing on tags where they're attached to the waste product. So you just take that off and then you just declares over the edges so you've got no sharp edges on it. Once they're all done, they then get stacked up and moved over to the brake press. Where you can see Cameron there suspended them. So you've got a big set machine up, put it in the program and then it will go through big stops through to the brake position suspended chassis. So it's like this. So all these are for is for the circuit boards that are attached to, transformers, earthquake mains, up and then goes away and gets recycled.
They reissued them, so they had them out. I think in like the 90s, late 90s. They were really popular. They sold for a lot of money on eBay, so they decided to reissue them. So in the last couple of years, we've been making those again.
That's mild seal. So because they're not coated, they will go rusty.
Yeah, no.
So the mild seal comes in.
Hey, we've got Drake there, how are we doing? You alright? So here it is.
Wherever they're going off to.
There's the warehouse.
This is where it all gets packed up and put into boxes. So
Okay,
the
yeah.
conveyor belt, every single amp and cab will come up here, packed into boxes, put the label put on it where it's going on to.
Yeah.
There's a little room down here.
This used to be what road?
Road, yeah. When they first moved down here in '66, they moved into this part. It was just that front part of the factory.
Oh, right,
When
yeah.
they expanded and got bigger, they bought the warehouse or factory behind it and expanded it.
No.
And bought out the road as well. So
Yeah.
there used to be a road running through the middle. There's a few other little units and that we used to do. I think the Randy Rhodes one up there was for an auction.
Oh, right.
Randy Rhodes' mum got it.
Oh, sorry.
Sold it off and it ended up coming back to us. Going out the factory. So
Oh,
this
good.
little room over here is,
This one.
yeah, this little room is where they test out every single amp and cab that comes through.
Alright.
It's a picture of what it used to look like before it expanded and it got a bit bigger.
Oh, wow.
Back in the 80s sometime. Yeah, if you poke your head through this window, you can see what he's up to. So every amp that's done, every amp and cab that's done will come down from finishing down on this conveyor belt.
You've got the best tool.
And
yeah.
they check everything.
That's what it is, mate.
So it must have been like a bit of a
It's all right now.
yeah, rivet, yeah.
So we go. Don't know if we're going in here or not. But get these apps in here again. I can't pronounce his name, but he used to play with rods. So I don't know if he still does some occasionally. So let's see some people in here. I know. Saw Drake already. A woman I used to work with works in here. Tyler works in here, I think. So here we're going into the electronics now.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Oh,
I forgot that
sorry.
was there. That amp on top there, especially for him. So that was never ever sold to the public. That was just a special
signed
benefit.
that one.
Yeah, and then one underneath as well. He's used and signed and donated to us, and one of his guitars as well. There is a couple of years with 3 Shred Master, Drive Master, Blues Breaker, and Governor pedal. And they were quite sought after in the 90s.
So that's what the pedals looks like now.
2000s, yeah, there's some there, yeah, they're the governor ones. They stopped making them, and then the last couple of years they've reissued them, so they brought them back out again now. They've been pretty popular, so they're all made here as well. The pedals on these little production ones. Yeah, it's got, it's got, yeah. So, we've got a little factory
Right.
operated as well. You can power it as well through electrics, but yeah. So they get made up here, so they get like the chassis that Phil made through there.
Oh, so
Circuit boards in, put the various knobs and switches on, then it gets tested on the machine there.
okay.
Anything's wrong with it, flag it up, and he's the
Damn
head
it.
of electronics, and he'll
Okay.
take you through the electronics process.
Okay.
Some 1974 X there with a perspex back, so you can see all of the internal workings there.
Resistors and capacitors.
So yeah, like I said, take photos at the same time. Alright.
So yeah, this is Damon, and he'll
How are we doing?
tell you about the electronics process.
Okay, cheers. How are you doing? You all okay?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. If you want to come out here a little bit more so we can see what we're talking about. So basically we've got two different processes going on in here. We've got the hand-wired process, so that's from the 1962 and that goes right up until today. And then we have our assembly process, which we brought out later to try and speed up production. So I'll go through them both. For the purpose of the assembly, it's kind of we're back to front, but I'll try and explain it as best I can. And then we'll go and have a look at the hand wires to do a comparison. Basically, down here, these are our assembly lines. So we've got two lines. Typically, we'll have 4 on each line, and each line produces about 30 to 40 units a day.
Wow.
The chassis have come from engineering, the same as yourselves. The first stage, they'll take the chassis, they'll put the panel on, switches, transformers. The second stage, we'll put the board into the chassis. The third stage, we'll wire the board. And then the last stage will do a functional test. So if it passes, it goes through to the next department. If it fails, it goes to the test engineers. They do the fault finding, and then they'll send it back to us to do the rework. So the boards that go on the second stage, they're fully populated in-house. So if you follow me up here, I'll show you how we do that.
Alright? You good? Alright?
I'm not exactly sure, but you're probably right. Yeah. Not exactly sure. I wouldn't like to guess, but yeah, it would be a guess. So for the boards, we'll get this board come from stores. You can see the tracking on the underneath of the board, and then the print on top. So basically, the AI machines will do about 30% of the components. They'll insert the component, bend the legs and cut the legs, but it won't solder the components in. So the larger components that we can't feed through on the machine will be loaded in by hand. So we'll pull these back down the way we just came shortly. So let's say this is where we're putting the components in. All the components will come to us on tape in ammo boxes. So in the corner we'll preform the components. We're going to bend the component and then put the crimp on there so it stays in place. Follow me down here a little bit more. One already went up. So you can see now these boards have been populated, but everything is still loose and we're able to still take the components out. Hopefully put them back in. So we've got the flow solder machine here. So the first stage of the machine, if you follow me down here.
Okay.
The first part of the machine will flux the underneath of the board. Then we've got the oven here that runs at 400 degrees Celsius, and that's getting the board nice and warm. And then here we have our hot solder bath. So you can see the solder in the bath. That's running about 264 degrees Celsius. when the board comes up, the sensor, so they'll tell the pump to push the solder, create a wave, and the board will skim over the top, soldering the underneath.
Right.
So,
Where does it do it? Just in that bit there? Yeah, there's a bar. Did you do it just in this bar? Oh, there you go. Oh,
There it goes.
there's a bar. Oh my God. That's Milton left, isn't it? When's it put together?
You can see the underneath of the board's all been soldered, and the areas that we masked for the valve bases.
How have you marked up for those who have got?
Well, some are, to be honest, some are.
actually, let's go down the bottom.
No, so they're about, should be about, it's about 10 to 12 minutes per board.
Right. Yeah.
So in 1962 we didn't have the AI machines and we didn't have the flow solder machines, and we've used a board like this. We're still using boards today from 1959 and 1974. So that, yeah, so the board comes to us like this. We'll put turrets on them one at a time with a rivet gun that's fixed to a bench. We'll flip the board, we'll use the red wire to create the tracking underneath, and then we'll hand solder the rest of the wires on. We'll flip the board back over, taking components from the table again. We'll bend the component, cut the legs, and then solder the components into place. All the way down here, I'll show you what that looks like. Straighten that forward.
Bloody hell. Wires everywhere.
This is the tag board from the 1959. You can see the red wires I mentioned underneath, and that's effectively the tracking. So then we've hand soldered the rest of the wires on, and then flipping it over, we've soldered the components on. All the gold bands and the resistors face the same way, just because it looks nice. It does make it slightly easier to read the value should we need to, but it's not really why we do it. We don't need to, we don't have to, but it does look nicer.
Yeah.
This board, wire this board into the chassis, and that process to wire this into the chassis will take about 4 to 5 hours on average. This is one of our units that's come off the assembly line, so the board's been through the AI, through the flow solder machine, valve base the bottom, and then onto that production line, split into 4-stage, sort of assembling it all using push connectors and harnesses. And then we have an example of 1959. This is actually one of the mod shops, but this is yeah, so this is all completely hand soldered. Takes a lot longer, but it does look good. With that, I'll hand you back to Jeff.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
That you go through right start to finish.
You got tomorrow. You got 10 tomorrow. The 2 first, and then the last one.
And he'll show you the process of what happens once the amps are finished.
Yeah.
They come through in here, and then they're built up into the boxes. This is Dave, and he'll take through you.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I try not to ruin it all for you. So I'll do my best.
Speakers after you finish.
Oh, there's speakers over there, isn't there?
I've got good sized pockets.
So, as Jeff just said, so my name is Dave, so I'm the team leader of finishing. This is where it all comes together. So you've already been through electronics to see the amps being made. You'll be shortly going into covering and Woodmill to see how the boxes are being made and covered. Basically, the first thing that we look at a Marshall product is the baffle and the logo. So we've got some nice examples down here of some design store units. So if you'd like to come over this way, don't be shy. So we've got some nice examples of some of the design stall baffles that we've done previously. Not everyone knows this, but Marshall did provide a service for design stall. We're lucky that we only have a company around the corner which can print on the image onto the fret. So what happens, this is the white fret which comes on a roll. That fret goes onto the noisy, isn't it? Woody woodpecker over there.
Yeah.
So that puts onto a jig, and then that goes off to the local printers. They work their magic on there, and it comes out like so. On the other side, you see the rollers there full of cabs, so they've been covered already. And then it's down to these guys here to put them off the roll. Now another question that I got asked earlier: how was the piping put on? So it's not glued on, it's stapled on. So you can see there we have staples which are running all the way along there, and from that angle you would never see, and that would get screwed onto this 1974 X baffle. You see there, that gets screwed on, and it's piped all the way around. And then there's another example of piping. So again, this is all sort of put on all the way around there. There's two different staples. You've got the smaller staple for the piping, and then you have the larger staples for the fret. Again, this would have been put into a jig, and then would have been sent off to the printers to do their magic. Yeah.
Alright.
I'm not looking. Help yourself. Where's the that was taken off the back of that way. And we have another baffle down there, St George's flag there. That normally comes out and people never get to find it. So that normally, yeah, it doesn't very often come out, but now and again. That would be a question, yeah. So,
Well, based on 1945, but they've added a bit more bass and gain to it. And then he always used to use a bigger bass cap as well. Covering part that was a Paul Weller big gift birthday, I think they made that for him. Signed by him as well. And he'll tell you a bit about
You good?
All sold. They cost £5,000 in 2002. And all the money raised from them was given to charity. The gold plate. Yeah. Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Covering. If you'd like to follow me. These jigs, we normally had cabinets on them. We've just finished doing the load. They're loaded in the Woodmill. They go through an oven. On this side is where we spray the insides, put the black paint on all the combos and all the heads. Obviously, the reason being is they don't look right, just white on the inside, so we paint them black. If you'd like to follow me, I'll explain the rest of the process. See there is where we actually load units on. We put them in the window, load them on, go through the oven, get sprayed up, black paint, come round, the glue sprayed onto it. The reason why we run it through an oven is the glue we use is a water-based heat activated glue. So we do have the same procedure over here. That's letters of love, straight up, with this up. So you'll hang up all the racks over there. So obviously, you get the right unit, right letters together. It doesn't matter if both of them aren't hot, because they just be activated. The one that is hot will activate the glue. For example, that devil's about an hour old. Yeah. It's still quite tacky. Yeah. If I hold that bit there, about 10 seconds, it's even more tacky. Yeah. So the heat will go like when they're wrapping, it's like wrapping wallpaper, wrapping resin. Lay the unit on, wrap it, bone it all out, the bones we've got. Then every unit is actually signed by whoever wrapped it. So any problems we know who come back to. If you used to use the pair of scissors, lining the bone.
Get Jimmy Seal.
Hello everybody.
How we doing?
Right, you can come closer. You can come closer.
I'll come round here.
I don't mind. Don't mind. Right, welcome everyone. So, I'm Chris. I am training leader of the Woodmill. So, as you're finding out, everything is made here. That includes the cabinet. We make our cabinets out of plywood. Now plywood makes a detrimental effect on the sound. Okay, something I've only found out in the past couple of years. We've tried many varieties of plywood in the past 3 years because of certain worldly situations, and we've ended up with a plywood that is better than what we previously had. The plywood makes some of the martial sounds. So our plywood comes in sheet form, 84 sheets, onto this machine here. It's called the Morbidelli. That machine will cut every panel what we require. Baffles, backs, tops, bottoms, sides. It'll cut the lot. Even the recesses and the handle holes, baffle holes, everything to what we require. So, apart from the strong build process, what Paul was mentioning about the latex, toe next is the Woodmill part. This is what we call haunching. So go through a haunch up, which will do the finger joints. A part of that will be the press. Now the press is a giant microwave basically. It will go from 70 degrees to 200 in a matter of 2 minutes.
So this might be a bit noisy in it. Sorry.
So today you're all quite
good?
lucky because not many people are allowed in here because of the noise level.
Right.
So, like I was saying, everything comes in C4,
Yeah, it's going to be noisy. Get a bit of little Tyler.
This is the beach space and the good in the top coast. Whereas the cool product and stuff, you have various different wood. This is the same wood that makes bread. It's actually really fun.
It's going to be noisy. This is going to be noisy.
Again.
Okay.
So, in its raw form, there's a glue and resin. No matter what you're going to do, even if you drop it, that's not going to break. Right? Yeah. So, softwood, redwood pine. The demoulding to our spec, no one else does that demoulding. So, each unit of the tank will have person's name in it. And that's that. Alright? Yes, okay.
Where all the battens, where all the battens and battens will be there all on the side, so you just really can grab big oven there that the units go through to heat the glue up.
Alright. So we've got big oven, sorry I'm not talking on it, just getting the tool, there's people talking on it, what's telling us about the stuff.
Yeah, so that also is the just next to it as well, so some units integrated inside, which is what it's in, mainly units you can see inside it, it's great just to make it a bit nicer. So that helps speed up drying as well, so that's that part. That's another signature amp that was built based on a JCM 800. Got a couple of different extras added to it. One of his guitars there that was donated to us as well. And like the design of his like tattoos printed on there. Custom made, so you can choose your different colour leather. You can choose corners, you can choose different coloured rivets. Some models you can choose different coloured panels. You have custom baffles printed, so it's like your band's name or logo on them. Different options that they've got there. So there's different fretting, different style fretting, different logos, different handles. Then obviously the big designs for certain things. That one on there was for it's like the snake's eyes. It was for the Chinese Lunar New Year, Year of the Wood Snake. So that was like a texture print. And here is the fretting that we use today. I think Dave showed you around there. It's actually made sort of paper. So if you unravel it, it's all sort of like papery. So you'd think it was material, but it's actually just woven paper. What sort of put on?
What's that?
Just a design, just some design that someone's had done. It's probably like a test piece or something. But like all of the fretting is put on by hand, so it's all bent, pulled over tight. Make sure they get it all straight, and then it's stapled on. So these are like slash amps. It's the only artist that had 3 signature amps out for us. So you've got the JCM slash signature amp there, the amp destruction style one, and then there's a combo as well, signed by him. One of his guitars that he's giving to us as well, signed by him.
So we're outside now.
That's obviously not on the east side there, when there isn't one. So we've got over here theatre. Built a little theatre. Had like the stage and a little bar in there. Bands can practice, test out amps and things like that in there. Used to have Christmas parties and what have you.
Is this where they had last year Peter Andre and all that kind of stuff?
No, that's over at the arena. Over by the
MK Stadium.
Over by the stadium we sponsor the arena, so it's the Marshall Arena. They do have some bands and that playing here sometimes though.
Yeah.
He'll tell you a bit about that when you go in, because I think
Okay.
it's about 200 or 250 people capacity.
Wow.
They can do like little intimate sort of gigs in there. But yeah, it used to be a theatre until about 3 years ago.
Alright.
When they developed it into a like state-of-the-art recording studio.
Wow.
So they bought a big desk, one of the mixing desks.
So yeah, there's where we've just been in, guys.
Soundproof and everything.
We got on the outside.
Yeah.
Like bands recorded in air as well. Know the Twins, they recorded their album. They like the Brit Awards and that. They're touring with Lenny Kravitz at the moment. Yeah, it can be hired out as well, so if you ever want to record a record or anything, just hire the place out.
Factory tour, that's where we've just been. Just going into the studio now. Interesting what we find in here. Oh well. Oh well. There you go. Oh, I'm going too fast.
It's a really good opportunity as a brand to be able to put people into spaces where they can.
Hello everyone, I'm Adam, the studio manager. Welcome. Let's go.
Okay. See you later. See you later. So. Oh wow. Wow.
Cool. Welcome to the studio, gang. I don't know, how much did Jeff tell you so I know what I need to make up and lie about?
About this, nothing about
Nothing,
this.
so you need to start from
Nah.
scratch. Oh god, okay, we'll start. So welcome to the studio. I often joke that we built a world-class recording studio in a car park in Milton Keynes, but that's what we've done. This building was known as Jim's Theatre. It was just basically a huge dumping ground. That's sacrilege for me to say, because at one point it was a theatre, but just before the pandemic it became a bit of a dumping ground for our loan stock, drums, guitars. It kind of wasn't being used for much. At the same time, Marshall started a record label and was recording everything in Abbey Road, and it was costing loads of money. So I thought, you know what, what's a great idea? We'll build a recording studio. So Marshall gave me a ring and said, hey, can you come on board and build us a recording studio? So I said no. And then my wife said, no, don't be stupid, go back and say yes. So we've got my wife to thank for this. So I was basically given this, so I'm from Hemel Hempstead actually, so everything's exciting to me. But not only is the Marshall factory right there, where we make Da Vinci's paintbrushes, we make the finest tools for art ever made. There's also a man in Milton Keynes called Blake. Now Blake is mad, there's another word for it, but he's also a genius, and he looks after the mixing consoles for Benny Forever, Metallica, Kate Bush, Coldplay, Ed Sheeran. If you've got a vintage need mixing console, he's your guy. So I rang Blake up and said, hey, we're building a studio at Marshall. Have you got anything for me? He said, huh, funny you should say that. I do. And I walked into a room and that was in there. Now that is a 1974 Neve 8048 built for Pathé Marconi Studios in Paris. This was in Studio D, the big ball. So we built the entire studio around it. Now I actually modified it in quite a few ways. So we took the 1081 EQs that were originally in it and replaced them with 1093s, which are the Abbey Road Class AB ones, super fast, super punchy, but still retain the warmth. We shortened the bus.
Oh,
Yeah, right, well.
Maybe I'm old enough to be your nan.
You are old enough to be my nan. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and we brought everything from there. So our remit was to have a studio that was all things to all men. So I pull rank and make him do monitors. I get to do front of house. We also help R&D with the amp manufacturing and amp tuning. We also help the headphone and speaker.
What have we got here? Oh good. Right, let's do a little bit of the theatre. You alright, ladies?
Hello.
How are we doing?
Good.
You good?
With you?
Yeah. Wow. I'm shocked. Wow, this is big. Do a rave in here. Some drums here. So this be the last bit now, I think. Stage up here. So the bloke said in there, he said that's George Michael's piano. Paul Weller amp, I think. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What did you think?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, some places where you don't go in Milton Keynes. Crazy.
But I think Gary did reset it recently.
So here's some of the amps what they made as well, I think.
Out of hours access.
Let's get these. Do you good? I'm impressed with the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're happy?
Yeah. This should be the end bit, wouldn't it?
This is the end of the tour here, yeah.
Yeah.
This is sort of your opportunity for free roam if you fancy a drink
Okay,
in the bar
yeah.
or something. But yeah,
Well, good.
How have you found it?
Yeah, good. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah.
How are we doing? There's Jake. He was one of the tours as well. You
One
doing
of
it?
the tour guys today,
Tour
Mark.
guys, yeah. You're doing another tour today, are you?
That's my last one today. I've got some more tomorrow.
Or? Okay.
Yeah.
So is that true? Is that
George Michael's piano?
Yeah. Wow.
I think it's got a little wine stain on it from one of the last parties he had.
Oh right, bloody hell.
Basically, if you do that, as all instruments go, it doesn't like stay in tune really. It's never quite settled since we got it in. It's been in here for the best part of 2 years now. We did get it restrung, so the two combined, new strings and a change in temperature all the time, means it doesn't stay in tune as much as you'd like. But however, saying that, I get it retuned before a session regardless.
Right, anyway guys, let's walk around Marshall's warehouse and studio. Hopefully it'll load up when I get home. But yeah, like I said, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Adventures of Paul, share, comment, like, and catch you on the next video. Bye for now.